and that's why she fell in love with him. Bare minimum. And so what is he? A mediocre white man. I'm still horribly attracted to him. You and me both. Hello everyone, it's Sunny. I haven't decided if this is gonna be spoiler free or with spoilers yet. I feel like I'm the only person in the world who hasn't like read this book series. I feel like I've been like substantially spoiled for this book series too, just because it's so popular. I will say that I feel like this was like the OG antagonist to lover, you know, like villain redemption arc kind of. You know what I mean? I feel like this was like one of the first books that I remember reading when I was like back in middle school that did that, and it absolutely blew my mind. That's my origin story. I feel like it's all of our origin stories for like why we love that trope, that toxic trope. Thanks, Tahereh. Okay, I'm going to come back once I start reading the first book. I remember like all these crossed out things, like the way that she would like think something and then cross it out, and was like the very like Shatter Me writing style. I remember that very clearly. I don't even know if I ever explained what this series is about, but it's about our main character. I think her name was Juliet. It's like a dystopia. She's basically like a prisoner of the government because they're like weaponizing her because she has like a superpower, which is that she can kill people or like cause pain to people until they die by touching their skin. And so obviously she's dangerous, and then obviously the government wants to snatch that right up. There's like a love triangle, but I'm pretty sure the triangle doesn't start until like later on in the book, you know? There's like, you know. I know that you know. Anyway, she's being kept prisoner. That's where we're starting. The love interest, at least like the first one, Adam, I think, is like the prison guard. So it starts with that, and then we move on to Warner, which is like the villain. I'm like, is it a love triangle situation where like there's some people who are team this and this, or is it like one of those love triangles where it's like there's literally only one right answer, like there's one option? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna start episode 1. Oh my gosh, chapter 1. I've been locked up for 264 days. Iconic opening line. Okay, can I just say that dystopian universes, like nothing can compete to me with dystopian universes. Like just the aesthetic and like, oh my gosh, I literally love dystopian worlds so badly. Like Maze Runner vibes with like the dilapidated buildings and stuff. Like visually, she just got a new roommate. Although why do I remember him being a bodyguard unless that's like that's him. Julia has really been on the struggle bus this entire time. Like she literally fully went like almost a year without speaking a single word. Imagine, because she's like so isolated in her cell. I just know that if I was isolated in myself, I would spend every single day singing Taylor Swift at the top of my lungs, because that's literally what I do right now by myself in my room alone. I'm literally just singing Taylor Swift, and that's the reason they would set me free. Julia keeps saying every time she like looks at his big blue eyes, of course it's blue, and like when he first like tells her his name, she always says something like, oh, something about it is so familiar. Like I feel like I know him, or like I've seen those eyes before and stuff. They just knew each other from their past or something. I don't really know the details. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like childhood something, I feel like. But anyway, look at this chapter, chapter 4. It's literally just I'm not insane, I'm not insane, I'm not insane, over and over and over again, italicized. So yeah, I'm gonna continue reading this while I do my nails. Also, can I just say that this trope hits forced proximity, which I know that I normally hate forced proximity, but it's because sometimes I don't like how like cringy forced proximity is, especially like the scenarios that come out of forced proximity. But I like it when it's like forced proximity and they like don't talk to each other, or like it's a thing that like one of them isn't speaking, kind of forced proximity, but like one of them is like making a point to keep their distance and like not talk. So it's like so rewarding, like every interaction where there is like talking and stuff, you know what I mean? And like one of them is keeps being like, why won't you talk? Like why aren't you talking to me? Like stuff like that. I don't know why that kind of hits for me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm like a secret shy girl, so like maybe that's the reason why I like that trope so much. But so interestingly, they're like getting to know each other more. She's like, why do you always ask so many questions? You don't even know me. He laughs and says, I don't know you. He shakes his head, right, of course not. Adam knows that he and Juliet know each other, but Juliet doesn't know. I'm so curious about how they knew each other. These are my nails. Also, Juliet's literally 17. She's been literally not allowed to touch anyone, and this girl is 17. And then this tall glass of water just walks into her cell. This is her being sexually frustrated for like, love that for her. This is the other one. I also hurt my finger. Now it just got very, very interesting. I'm on chapter 9. Chapter 8 that I just finished is the part where we finally figure out, I knew it. Okay, Adam is actually one of the guards, and we figured that out. He was sent into the cell to like, I don't really know. Juliet remembers where Adam is from. Apparently like they went to school together or something. No, but the actual tea is that at the same time that we figured out Adam, we also met Warner for, sorry, I need to wait for this to dry, which is, we met Warner for the first time too, and I didn't know that we met him like this early on. And I should have known, like it says, oh, can't be much older than me, and he's hot, that means that he's gonna be a love interest. I should have, rookie mistake, I should have caught that when I was like in middle school. This is a fun book, you guys. Now Juliet's like moved from that prison place to like this other establishment where like Warner's there, and they pretty much want to like weaponize her ability. It's like the first family dinner. Oh my gosh, Warner, like this man is so toxic. This man is so toxic. It makes me think like, wow, he must go through some like, he must like have to like save the world or something for people to like be thirsting after him, because she just like talks back to him and then he like starts shooting. And like I know that he's a white man and like, you know. Also, I think it's fun that in this case, like, at least right now, it's like the blonde one is like the bad boy one, and then the dark-haired one is like the nice guy. But yeah, Warner literally starts shooting at the dinner table. Toxic! Toxic. He must really pop off in like the other books that everybody is like such a simp for Warner. But anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. I was just like giving a TikTok a quick scroll and then I saw that TikTok. Oh my gosh, now I have to go on Warner Talk. People are so talented at making these edits. Oh my god. Guys, I'm kind of folding. Okay, like people who can make these kind of edits where it's like complicated like this, where like the pictures show up and stuff. You guys are doing God's work. Their musicality goes crazy. I'm kind of folding. Anyway, hey, good morning. Oh my gosh, what? It's literally not the morning at all. Just welcome to the next day. But I wanted to update my thoughts before I read anymore. Juliet and Adam are trying to escape and they kind of escaped Warner. Warner still not, I'm not warming up to him. He's giving toxic, he's giving power hungry. Like I can't imagine what the redemption is that he would be redeemed and everyone's thirsting over him like this. I don't like how he's getting so much in Juliet's like personal space and he's like pretty much like obsessed with her. Oh my gosh, he definitely has like mommy issues because we saw that one part where she like said some kind of joke about his mom and then he like suddenly got so serious. He was like, what did she say about my mom? He definitely has mommy issues. That's the other thing, is that we figured out like Adam can touch her and we figured out that Warner can touch her but like she doesn't affect them. And it made me wonder like why that would be. I had theories but then I'm like, actually no, that doesn't make sense. The first theory that I thought of was that it's like genetic, which would be the worst way for this to go because I don't need to explain that. My second theory was that it's like psychological, like the people that she truly loves someone, then she can't hurt them, or like if someone else truly loves her, then she can't hurt them. I thought that maybe that's what it would be because apparently Juliet and Adam, which by the way their relationship is basically that they like went to school together and they were both like in love with each other because, you know, I don't know. But then I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense because like she doesn't even know Warner. He definitely doesn't love her. He might be obsessed with her. She definitely doesn't love him. She actually hates him. So like that doesn't make sense then. Also, I was spoiled for the fact that Adam and Warner are brothers. I'm pretty sure that's like a spoiler. I feel like I saw that somewhere. That could be a lie. I don't really know. Which is why I was like, is it genetic? I'm like, it better not be. And the other thing was that Julia and Adam like really do be claiming to love each other. It's written like really dramatically. Like all of her descriptions are, I mean, it makes sense to me because Juliet was literally held captive for like all of her life and isolated from everyone. And then of course like the first like pretty boy that she sees, she's gonna be like, it's gonna be just like so on the opposite end of the spectrum of just like everything's so heightened. And so that part makes sense to me. But like she just laughed and then he was like, oh, I never heard you laugh before. And I'm like, you really never heard her laugh before and you're in love with her? Okay, let's like unpack this for a little bit because she is 17 years old. She's literally a minor. She's like not even a major yet. Knowledge withdrawal, like she doesn't know much. Like just the balance of like power in this situation is just so astronomical. And then what does she do? The first mediocre white man that she sees, she falls in love with. Because what did Adam do? I mean, he's pretty. And then in school, he was just like the only one who like didn't terrorize her. And that's why she fell in love with him. Bare minimum. And so what is he? A mediocre white man. Those are my thoughts for now. Okay, they ran off to like Adam's house now. We met his little brother James. So adorable. But anyway, they're just like talking in the nighttime and like I feel like I can see like kind of where this is going because he keeps talking about like her goodness, like how good she is, how she like never fought back. And I'm like, okay, that's all good and all, but like I don't know, I feel like he's kind of like romanticizing her goodness and stuff, how like innocent she is, how sweet she is. I'm like, okay, let's just take it down 2 notches. So we finally just met Kenji, which is like the character that I've been so curious about because I made a TikTok about like how I'm reading a book series but liking one side character more. People in the comments were like Kenji and like stuff like that and I was like, who is Kenji? And Warner knows that he can touch Juliet now. So that's the tea. Okay, Warner sometimes gives me the ick. Like I don't really know how I feel about, I don't know, all the aesthetics that I see. They're like, oh my gosh, like when he calls you love and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, Loki is giving me the ick. I don't, how are people like romanticizing and thirsting after this man? Something's wrong. Like this isn't right. He's like, oh my gosh, did you notice I'm immune to your gift? And he's like, we can really be together. And he pulls me close and he's like trying to kiss her and stuff. I want you to choose me. I want you to choose to be with me. This man like is so Oh my gosh, this freaking fly. This man is like so corrupted. We're perfect for each other. You want power. You love the feel of a weapon in your hands. You're attracted to me. Like, it's giving the Darkling and Alina, I feel like. Oh, Adam is shot too. I just wanted to document the fact that I did, in fact, change my clothes at least once in this vlog. I'm waiting for a friend to pick me up, but I'm gonna keep reading. Very fast paced, I will say that. But I think it's hard for me to like care about any of these characters except for Kenji and like the kid, James. Oh my gosh, okay, I literally forgot to say Warner pretty much was starting to make out with Juliet, and Juliet had to like play into it in order to like get his gun and like shoot him and find Adam and everything like that. There was like this part that I was reading and it was just like, and she was like, wait a second, why does this like not feel wrong? Why am I like reacting to this right now when like I hate him? And then I think that's supposed to be foreshadowing like the romance and stuff, but like I said this before, like let's unpack this, because she's literally a 17-year-old girl who had like no contact with anyone, especially like any boys. The first two mediocre white men that she makes out with, she's like, oh my gosh, like this must be it because my body's reacting that way. Sis, no, it's because you've been deprived your life. Just the self-awareness like is not there, and it's not her fault. It's just that she's being manipulated, mansplained, everything. Unbelievable. I'm at the part where they're in a getaway car in the back and I stole the... Anyway, they're driving in a literal tank. I can't like not picture like a literal war tank, but I feel like that's probably not it. Okay, good morning everyone. I finished Shatter Me. Okay, I think that I'm also going to read all of the novellas in like the reading order that it appears. So the second book, I forget what it's called, but there's novella 1.5 called Destroy Me, and so I'm gonna read that one next. I'm pretty sure it's from Warner's point of view, which should be interesting because we all know how I feel about Warner. So the first book, where did we leave off? Like they found like Team Omega, is that what they were called? Like that place with like a lot of the different people who have like superpowers and stuff. Kenji can turn invisible. Warner is not dead. They saw him. He was just shot by Juliet and gravely injured. This novella, oh my gosh, it's really not long at all. Okay, that prologue, I've been shot. As it turns out, a bullet wound is even more uncomfortable than I had imagined. Yeah, this is Warner's point of view. Okay, I'm so curious about this. And then I think that the next book, Unravel Me, is the second book. Anyway, I'm gonna read this novella and then I'll update my thoughts. Right now I'm rating Aaron Warner, like he's like a 1 out of 10 right now. Okay, I just finished Destroy Me. I have some like things to say. It's our turn to objectify men now, so I'm gonna continue rating Aaron and Adam. Currently Adam is like, he's a 7 out of 10, I feel like. Kind of bare minimum, but he's nice. Only giving a little bit of toxic vibes. So, and then Aaron was at, I just said his name. Is that a spoiler? Warner was at a 1 out of 10. He was at a 3 out of 10, and then there was that scene where he was playing with that dog, and then that brought him up to like a 4 out of 10. I also made notes. This is why I like reading on my iPad, because I made notes. I did not know that Aaron Warner was a short king. He's 5'9". We really got a lot of explanations about all the terrible things that he did. I knew that was gonna happen. It's like, oh, he's actually not completely evil like he was painted out to be in the first book. There's like explanations for everything. He's just being forced to do all of these terrible things because of the position he's in and because his father is like the most toxic man I've ever met in my life. Like he's giving Cal Jacobs from Euphoria. Warner doesn't want to do all these things, but like he has been like trained to do it and he has to do it. He hates himself for it and it's like really bad and super toxic. Because I remember one of the things that happened in Shatter Me was when he like shot that soldier for like stealing things from storage. Like he just straight up shot him in front of everyone, and it was like, I remember reading that part of the book and being like, oh my gosh, this man is toxic, unredeemable. Why would he do that? We kind of get an explanation for that. No one else knew was the fact that that soldier, Private Seamus Fletcher, was like bruising and abusing his wife and 3 children and doing terrible things, and he just needed an excuse to shoot him, and so that's why that happened. But obviously no one knows that Warner knows about that and that he like regularly checks up on his civilians, asking about their health, actually cares about them, knows all their names, but like no one knows that he does that because like no one can know, otherwise people will think that he's weak, all because of his toxic father who's like the head of this entire sector. And then also that like baby, Warner pretty much made Juliet like torture a baby in the first book, which was like when I was like unredeemable, he's cancelled, which I still think you literally like was psychologically torturing her. And we learned here that it was actually all a simulation, like it wasn't actually a real baby or anything like that. I still don't think that like that is low-key any excuse for it. He said in this book like he had to do it so that she could like fully embrace herself, and like he was like, oh, ultimately it was helpful for her, but I don't think that's true. Everyone just needs to like leave her alone. Actually, everyone in this book has to like get therapy. Yeah. And he like found her journal, like that notebook is like the majority of what happened in this book. And okay, first of all, imagine having like such a personal journal like that and then like having it read by like someone that you hate. I'm like, ooh. But he's like been reading it and like he is like pretty much like falling in love with her. But he always says like, I think in the first book I was like weirded out by it because I'm like, what is this obsession? Like you don't even know her. You just like want her power. But turns out that he actually like never, like that was never his like primary motive, exploit her power. He was just using that as an excuse because he was really intrigued by her in the asylum and was kind of falling in love with her just like passively. Like Adam and Warner are really not that different. Like they really just like saw her and like think that they know her and are falling in love with like some idealized version of her. But he does play with that dog in like the last part of this book and like that really did something. I'm going to now start reading Unravel Me. Also, I'm craving Cheez-Its, so I'm gonna go buy some. But also very quickly, I forgot to say this, but like what is like concerning for me is like just like the fact that Warner continuously is like fantasizing about his own death is so concerning. Oh my god. Everyone in this book, like I'm like so stressed out for him. Like, and his father, like so much toxicity like in like one body, like it's crazy. Why is this called the Juliet Chronicles? Please don't tell me that that's what the title of this series is. Is that the official? No, this is the Shatter Me series. Oh, I'm started reading Unravel Me. I feel like it's finally getting a little bit spicy because I'm so curious about what they discovered about Adam. Adam is like looking not good and like won't tell her about like what they're discovering about him in his like whether or not he has some kind of superpower or energy or something like that. Wait, I kind of love Kenji. Like he's definitely my favorite character here. Finally got the explanation about Adam's abilities and why he can touch Juliet. Yeah, it's like Bella, where the hell have you been, loca? Because he has the ability to like take away other people's abilities, like disable their ability as like a defense mechanism. But like the tea here is that, but now that they like love each other and are more comfortable and he feels more comfortable and more vulnerable around her, that means that his defense, his ability to disable her is gonna weaken and weaken, and then he won't be immune to her anymore. So that was the big reveal. Good morning everyone. Again, just showered so I look like this, but I'm halfway through Unravel Me, so I wanted to get my updates. Basically Juliet is meeting Warner and Warner's father right now to like exchange hostages. More importantly, that dog scene, like the Warner playing with the dog at the end of Destroy Me, where he thought that he like saw Juliet and like made it up. We got that scene from Juliet's point of view in this book. She's like folding a little bit and I was like about to judge, but I realized like I also folded when I was reading that scene in Destroy Me. So like anyway, I just came on here to say that I love like the name trope in books so much. That's why I like just wanted to update this because I always knew that his name was Aaron Warner because I was spoiled about it, but we like didn't know that until this book at this very moment when his father calls him Aaron and is telling him to shoot her. So I don't know, I feel like this is really a turning point and I just love that trope so much. Anything that has to do with like a name, not revealing a name or like the significance of like a name or something like that. Finally get like the revelation, like I don't know, it's just like one of my favorite things to read about in books. I have no idea why. It's like same thing with like the Darkling in the Addicted series with like Reich when you figure out his first name and like I don't know, name reveals. I literally love name reveals so much. I don't know, something about him having like a wholesome name like Aaron is like so the vibe to me. But yeah, I'm going to Toronto for the weekend. I don't know how much I'll vlog there. I'm gonna be with my family and I get shy when I'm vlogging around other people, so we'll see. I'm gonna try my best, but like yeah, I'm just saying. Oh my god, I completely forgot. Warner's father is like on the ground, like fainted, gone. And Adam and Kenji are here. Adam drops to his knees. My father, this man is my father. I really forgot about the fact that that is a spoiler, that Adam and Warner are actually brothers. I like knew that and I like forgot about it, and so this just hit me like just now. This book series is finally getting a little juicy. I literally forgot to say that when I was reading this book last night, I literally I was folding so hard because that dog scene said that he had dimples. You guys know how I feel about dimples. Like I'm so simple. Also, he's like opening up to Juliet right now and like he really is like delusional. Genuinely, I'm like, he was just like really not taught in life like human connection, like what healthy relationships and love looks like, and just the idea of it is so deranged that like it's genuinely like delusional. I feel like the things that he's saying and what he's like feeling towards Juliet, thinking that like he's in love with her and like the first time that he saw her, like that's not healthy, you know what I mean? But it's not his fault. Juliet walked in on Warner and he was sleeping, obviously sleeping like butt naked. Obviously he's looking beautiful and she sees like all the scars on his back. Oh, and she sees the tattoo, which is Ignite, which I saw it all over. Maybe this would be a good time to show you guys my Pinterest board. That's what that looks like. yeah, it always said ignite and like that back tattoo, and so I always knew that he had that back tattoo, and so I guess this is when we find out. I wonder if I'm just as cruel as my own oppressors if I decide that society is right, that some people are too far gone, some people you can't turn back, and that there are people in this world who don't deserve a second chance. And I can't help but disagree. I can't help but think that 19 is too young to give up on someone. 19 years old is just the beginning, and it's too soon to tell anyone they will never amount to anything but evil in this world. That really hit randomly. Look at her. Look at her. Okay, go off. I am so sorry, but whatever tahereh mafi is lacing these Warner scenes with, I'm gonna just need her to take it down 2 notches right now. Fighting every atom in my body, every stupid cell in my system for being so attracted to him. Oh god, I'm so horribly attracted to him. You and me both. Oh no, everyone's gonna see how problematic I am. That's so embarrassing. Everyone's gonna see like the toxic— oh my gosh, you've read this book? Like, it's the scene where like after Castle came in and told Warner that he probably has some kind of gift or ability, and he's kind of like losing his mind, and he's like looking really disheveled and stuff, and like, I promise I'm not problematic. Oh my, I don't know what's happening. Oh, this book was the game changer. These scenes were really the game changer. 12 out of 10. Okay, hi everyone. Not in my house. I'm with my sisters. I'm staying here, but I wanted to continue vlogging, of course, and I'm of course gonna continue reading. Warner's dad just shot— I don't know how loud I'm talking. Warner's dad just shot Juliet. What is happening? Okay, never mind. She's being healed. So I started Fracture Me, which like I said is the novella, I think, between the second and the third book. Also, is this series like a trilogy? I don't know why I thought there were like so many books, which is why I never wanted to read it. Or is it like a select— oh, what a terrible surprise. Okay, what I thought was true is in fact true, I'm pretty sure. Oh no! There's a 4th book? Why did I think that it was just a trilogy? Or was it originally a trilogy and then she decided to add on another book? There's like so many eyes. Oh my gosh, never mind. There's a 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5. There's literally a whole other trilogy after the first trilogy. Is it like a selection situation where the author made a cash grab and like made like a sequel trilogy? Reading this novella is making me realize that like Adam is seriously such a good guy, and that's why I'm so goddamn sick of him right now. I miss Warner and his toxicity. That was so much spicier. My sister's trying to sneak in the background. I'm gonna keep this in. I wish you could have all witnessed that. Hello everybody. I just want to say that I'm literally at like my sister's ceremony, but the grind never stops. And I'm reading. Okay, outside now. I feel like I should document when I actually look kind of nice. I don't think I mentioned this, but I finished Fracture Me last night. And I also started the last book, Ignite Me. And I have so many updates, but I'm not gonna update it right now. I need to like sit down and update. Anyway, I'm at U of T, so I thought I would document that. Also, I'm never gonna be dressed like this ever again, so. The ceremony was over, and now I have a second ceremony. So I'm gonna continue reading. Oh, hello. Oh my god. My sister has a balcony, so I'm on the balcony, but I literally— did you guys know that? Did you guys know that heights are probably like the scariest thing in the world to me? Oh my— I'm not gonna show you the view, but like, oh my gosh, she lives on like one of the highest floors. Anyway, but I just wanted to show you guys my outfit because I'm like never gonna look this good ever again, and or I'm only gonna ever look good wearing this for any special occasion I ever go to. So anyway, best I could do last minute, but it was great. These like dress pants are from Zara. This belt was from H&M because these were a little bit big. And this top is literally like from H&M Sport. Like it's literally like a sports bra slash sports tank, but I thought like, isn't it so pretty? Like I had to like stop myself from like reading it because like I couldn't update my thoughts as I was reading it when I was like there because there were like so many people around. So I had to like force myself to stop reading it. So I'll hash all of that out. Yeah, but I'm gonna change out of this, but I just wanted to document this before you go. Okay, hello everyone. Finally back home. I want to settle in for the night. I definitely have 8 million blisters on my feet. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna now go over my notes. I'm 36% of the way through Ignite Me. Like I said, I don't think that I ever even mentioned this was like a revelation in the second book. Warner is able to touch Juliet, like what his power is. Empathy, I guess. Like he can like feel like exactly what other people are feeling. Like he just like knows exactly what another person is feeling and like why they're feeling it, which like really didn't help the situation of me scared that I'm getting toxic because because it was really giving emotional intelligence, and like that was quite frightening to hear. The reason that he can touch Juliet is because it's like the opposite of Adam. Like he can like steal people's abilities, you know? I'm thinking like Rogue from X-Men type vibe. I love X-Men, but I forget if I've said, why do I feel like I mentioned that in this video before already? I love X-Men. Oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about Warner's mom too. Because remember in the beginning in book 1, we like knew for a fact that Warner had like mommy issues of some kind. And we finally learned about Warner's mom and the fact that like she has like Juliet's thing, but like she can't like touch herself, like literally no part. She has, you know, like when you're like drying your nails and you have to do that, like it's giving that, like otherwise she feels like excruciating pain. So his mom is pretty much just incapacitated, like she's ill. Because of that whole thing with his mom is like what made him particularly interested in like learning more about Juliet, which we didn't get that little tidbit in his novella, but he did finally tell Juliet clean about all those things about like why he killed that soldier, the simulation room and like the torture chamber and the baby. Oh my gosh, okay, I remember this is literally, I was in like the convocation hall in the middle of a whole ceremony, and I was sitting there reading this, and I literally had to turn my phone off because I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna, literally no way that I can continue reading without updating and like talking to you guys about this. Because what the heck was happening when Adam was like being like a little hoe, and he was saying like that Juliet, you think you've had it hard, you always had a roof over your head, food delivered to you on a regular basis, that's more than most people will ever have, you have no idea like what struggling really is. And I was like reading that, I was like, are you kidding me? He's really saying, oh, you had a roof over your head, food delivered to you. She was locked in an asylum. That was so random and out of pocket. That was so uncalled for and so rude and so hurtful. And I was like, he's like a 4 out of 10. But now I can't help but wonder if I even know what love is. What I felt for Adam was love, or just a mix of deep affection and physical attraction. That is literally what I have been saying since day 0. See you tomorrow. Oh, right when I turned this on. It's the next morning. I'm like about halfway through Ignite Me. I was reading it last night. I fell asleep. This conversation on chapter 29 of Warner and Juliet is like making me emo. I don't think you're a psychopath. I also don't think you're a sick, twisted monster. I don't think you're a heartless murderer, and I don't think you deserve to die, and I don't think you're pathetic or stupid or a coward. I don't think you're any of the things people have said about you. I'm not trying to turn you into someone else. I only want you to be who you really are, because I think I know the real you. I think I've seen him. I don't care what anyone else says about you. I think you're a good person. It says Warner's blinking fast now. I can hear him breathing. She's like, can you sense that I'm telling the truth? That I really mean it? He nods just once. And he can tell, because that's literally his whole thing, is that he knows what people are feeling and can tell when people are lying or telling the truth. Yeah, last night, why was Adam being, what is this random character shift? Like, this is what happens when like a disgusting man thinks that he's like entitled to a woman. I feel like it's the vibe that he's giving right now, but it's strange because like that was like really not the vibe that he was giving off when we first met him in the first book. He's really spiraling like out of control because Juliet like doesn't want to be with him anymore. He's like really like going from insisting that he's in love with her to fully hating her. He literally said, I was happier when I thought that she was dead. He literally says to her like, drop dead. And I'm like, are you joking? He bamboozled all of us. You didn't love her at all then, because why would you say that? Warner. I really like playing right into Tahereh Mafi's hands, I think. Like I'm really like going through the roller coaster that she really just set the scene for, and I'm like eating it up. I really am. These 2 chapters are doing a little bit too much, let me say that. Juliet tells Warner, Adam was accusing me of being in love with you, and then Warner's like, and you told him he was an idiot, and she's like, no. And then he says, then you told him he was crazy. You told him he had to be out of his mind to say something like that. And then she's like, no. And then he's like, then what did you say to him? And she's like, nothing. This is literally such a mess and I love it so much. Oh my god. We're getting like a scars slash like tending to the wounds. Her seeing his scars, who did this to you kind of situation. This poor boy. Oh my god. Because he has hella scars on his back. Like he can barely feel anything on it anymore. And she's like, where did you get those from? And he says they were a birthday present. His father would whip him. Are you joking? Okay, I'm gonna keep reading, but just wanted to say that. Disgustingly appalled right now. I love Kenji, but like that was such a dirty move. He really like told Adam that like Juliet was still in love with him, like fully lied to him about someone else in order to get him to come back. What a dirty little, yeah. God. I'm at the part where Warner is like pretty much like breaking down in his mom's house, and like Juliet found him, and it literally says like, an earthquake hits my heart then, cracks it right down the middle, and I think here in him there's more feeling than any one person should ever have to contain. That is literally what I'm feeling right now. I was reading it and I was like it's what it feels like. I kind of want to cry a little bit right now. He wraps his arms around my hips instead, his head falling into my lap. I bend over him, instinctively shielding his body with my own. Oh my gosh, my heart. Oh my gosh, my heart. It's really like, oh my god. I promised myself then in that moment that I will hold him forever just like this until all the pain and torture and suffering is gone. Until he's given a chance to live the kind of life where no one can wound him this deeply ever again. That was a doozy. Also, I don't think I mentioned this before, but like the way that Warner talks, like there's no way that he like does not have a British accent in my head. He like definitely does, right? Like I just can't picture like someone with an American accent using love. I feel like that would give me the ick. Also, he like doesn't use contractions like your and like it's. He always says you are. You're definitely British. Your body lightweight. So those toured together. It's been a great ride. Thank you all for coming along on the journey with me. Did he just die? I like can't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. No body. They're not staying dead if I don't see a body. Everyone thinks that he's dead. Juliet, shot him in the forehead. I need to like see a body. I have a meeting with my supervisor in like 10 minutes. I don't know what I'm doing. Wait, I just finished the book. I was like not expecting. I like didn't realize. I didn't realize how much of the book I had read until right now. They still need to fight like the entire re-establishment. Like they need to like bring it down. So I guess that is what this next trilogy is gonna be. Kenji's whole like love story and stuff. We didn't get it. On day, I really wanted to get to Kenji's stuff. It's gonna be all for this video. But yeah, that was me reading the entire first trilogy and 2 novellas in the Shatter Me series. They're really fun, really quick to read. At first I didn't understand all the hype around Aaron Warner, and like now I do. I was stupid. I was lying to myself. That's gonna be all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe down below if you haven't already and follow me on all my socials. Let me know if you read the series or if you want to and like what your thoughts were. Tell me if I'm toxic. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.